Hi, my name is Mark Barry. I'm on the Newport task force under the stewardship of Simon Gibson. We spent all day together in this room listening to people sharing their views and their passions about Newport. And I think, having spent the last 6 hours in this room, I'm overwhelmed by the energy, the passion, the enthusiasm of the people who spent the time to come and talk to us today. And it leaves me with a distinct impression there's a lot that can happen in Newport, and actually Newport has got a very bright future. And I think if we can capture some of the passion that we've seen today, we can make this place a different place, a better place.
And the idea that I put to the task force, which I suspect they're already thinking about, is of getting more education and training into this city centre. There are a number of training providers out there who need new accommodation, could use new accommodation if the funding package could be made to work.
Green areas, possibly the bottom of Stowe Hill where there's no car park there. Maybe that could be landscaped and turned into a little bit of a seating area for people to go in and sit down. People in their lunch breaks, sort of, for when Admiral come here, maybe they could pop out and have a sandwich or something like in there. Somewhere nice to sit out of the office.
My idea today was really a maritime and leisure complex centre at the heart of Newport, which would essentially give Newport a heart, based around a centre of city centre parks where people can meet and enjoy time in the centre of Newport.
My idea for Newport is to exploit the assets it's already got, which are distinctive of Newport, and I'm referring to both business assets and heritage assets. It's got an immense range of heritage assets that some of them are of worldwide importance, and it's not exploiting them properly at present.
My concept is for a digital Newport. It's to get young people, both qualified but those who've also got a natural talent and natural ability who haven't necessarily got formal qualifications, to participate in building Newport as a digital city, to gain digital skills to offer both regionally, to offer nationally and to offer internationally.
Newport has taken the wrong path. It's not open for business, and the proposals such as Friars Walk will only add to its trouble and congestion. Creating a large piazza, if you like, a square, fountains, plenty of parking, will be the thing which may make it attractive to Newport, to people.
I believe Newport needs a mixture of a flagship cultural offering so that we can bring lots of people in and have something that we can make people really proud of, maybe reflecting on the maritime or the innovation or our creative history, so with regards to film or photography. And I also think we need a blend, we need to be known for something, so I think we need to focus on the current digital innovation going on in the world, and I think Newport would be a great hub for that because we've got a lot of great talent here, we've got a lot of empty buildings that could be filled up with new businesses, and I think it would be a great hotbed to really make the city go somewhere.
My vision is really to have something like Paintworks, which we've got over in Bristol, which is a hub where lots of people can come together. The working space is not very, very expensive. There's a good place to eat. It's a place where small businesses can bring bigger clients and not be embarrassed about it, but also to spot collaborative opportunities and to work beyond their means. I'd like to see that kind of thing in Newport. It'll act as a lightning rod to help bring a lot of the creative and the technical talent that we've got to bring them together and to help foster collaboration. That's what I would like to see.
One of the main things I think I wanted to get over was this idea of the council, where everybody seems to look to, facilitating as opposed to controlling. I think that's really, really important, that we as a city council create the environment for people then to go off and do what they do, and that particularly applies to the city centre. Short term, need to get perhaps farmers markets going, vintage markets, double our efforts with these Mediterranean food markets. And the best thing about that is that it costs nothing. It doesn't actually cost anything to do. These guys come for nothing. You only have to facilitate and create the environment. some big ideas. You know, the market is a great space, but you know, these guys are really struggling at the moment, really struggling. I think probably if we could work with one of Newport's biggest attractions, the Celtic Manor, and perhaps create a Celtic Manor food hall there. I mean, Simon, who obviously knows a little bit about this, was incredibly keen on that idea. But it's not about the council running a food hall, it's about providing the space and letting business get on with it, you know. Don't really mind if none of mine are taken up. I just hope that some are. And I think the most important thing is that people work together. We need to stop changing and bolting different bits of Newport on as we go along, as different administration changes. Everybody needs to be bold and also adult and honest. We need to sign up, everybody, to a 20, 30, possibly 40-year plan, short, medium and long term. Take the city centre's too important, you know. Let's all work together to make it not necessarily perhaps the city centre, but the centre of our city again, and somewhere that we can be proud of.
The idea I've come today with was the idea of a cross-sector event which would celebrate Newport, its people, its stories, and celebrate its architecture through the use of digital projections, digital art. Tourism seems to be a big want and need. People of Newport do want other people to respect the city and to kind of flock to the city for a reason and a purpose.
My big idea marries two, I think, very Newport-focused things, which is Chartist Tower and creativity. And my big idea was to turn the Chartist Tower into a creative hub. So a live-work environment where artists, digital media, types of people can come together, live and work in one place. And not only transform the building inside as it's currently underused, but also on the outside as well. So give the whole building a fresh new lease of life.
When you said there are how many Newports, you put Newport in, you get Newport, Rhode Island, blah, blah, blah. Once I had a student, actually just graduated, thought they were coming to a different Newport.
I think what we're looking at here is approaching the name change. The name change would be from Newport, Casnewydd, to Casnewydd, Newport. Swapping it around, making sure that that's done sensitively and with the city at the core of that change.
We want to get kids in the room together to learn about technology so they end up creating things for themselves rather than just being users.
My big idea for Newport is not something tangible, it's about how we can package Newport once we have a better infrastructure here. And whenever I've thought about how Newport is packaged, one word always comes to mind, and that we're alternative. We should be an alternative to the larger cities of Cardiff and Bristol. We have a very vibrant, or have had a very vibrant music scene. Newport is packed with alternative people, and it's smaller than most cities, so it should be seen as an alternative to the larger cities out there. So really I'd like to see us embracing the alternative and not trying to emulate any other cities out there, because there is nowhere else like Newport.
Our idea for Newport is that the city centre should become a business improvement district. This will allow a company to be formed with funds levied on business rates from all those businesses in a specific geographical area. The company will work with the local authority to spend money on making the business environment more susceptible for footfall increases, events, marketing and the branding of Newport. With this partnership with the local authority, business interests can be enhanced and provide Newport with a very attractive retail and commercial centre.
I love the transporter bridge. I come from Pyrrhall, so I was brought up with it and it was my toy as a child. But I do feel that if that transporter bridge was in any other town, people would be flocking to it, they'd be going up it and having a bit of a whale of a time actually. So my proposal is to turn it into a true tourist adventure centre and put glass elevators up either side, whereby people can come and visit. They have full wheelchair access, and to be able to illuminate that during the winter months, a bit like a giant Christmas tree with laser beams and LED lights, rather like they do in places all over the world.
And I think there ought to be greater focus on retired persons. You rarely see a McCarthy and Stone development in the town centre, and there's also scope for residential development for young people in employment. A number of contributors have highlighted the economic benefits of a barrage across the River Usk. The government has been set a target for the UK by 2020 of providing 15% of all its energy from renewable sources. Now, we need to look more closely at tidal power, because tidal power is more consistent than wind, and the River Usk is one of the highest tidal flows in the world. In fact, I think it's second to Nova Scotia in Canada. But we can be one of the first cities in the UK to harness tidal power for the benefit of the town.
Make Newport a real sort of cultural and artistic place to be in and to visit. This stemmed from the Super Dragon event, which happened a few years ago. Basically, in this, I think 60 statues were put up, and they were designed by local schools, and they created a real buzz around the city, I felt. And so I thought this would be a nice idea to do it again, but this time supporting each suburb of Newport's local, heroes. And so, for instance, you would have murals drawn of people like John Sicolo, the owner of TJ's, and then you'd have people like W.H. Davis from Pill, great literary writers like that, and Arthur Machen and Killian, and just making the streets a bit brighter with these murals, but also presenting, the people of Newport with, the people who've come from their city who've really gone on to, make big things of themselves.
My ideas for regenerating Newport would be to knock the bus station and car park down as is planned, but instead of building a new shopping centre, I would think you should be better off turning it into a parked area with restaurants and leaving John Frost Square as an area where it could be used for entertainment. Also, I'd like to see the whole of the town centre covered in a roof by going down the main street, but whether that's feasible, I don't know. Thank you.
Hi, so I'm Ben. I'm the youngest member of the board. I've been living in Newport for most of my life, and today I've really encouraged to see that there's been lots of good ideas and people are really behind Newport, and they've got lots to offer and hopefully lots more to come. So really encouraging.